Hello, welcome to EUGE, an inside look at chasing a dream. I am Eugene Kenny, and my co-host Chuck Roy.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, buddy?
Very well, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yourselves.
Oh.
I have a new word.
Yeah, thanks again.
Today.
Thanks again for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We really do. So, and we're getting followers. That's pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I'm excited.
What do we call our followers?
EUGE fans? EUGEs?
Please let's not.
Can we not? Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I did that to help, and I didn't.
That's all right. I appreciate you.
It's
Thank
like
you.
our
I
prop
caught
master
it. I
today.
caught it. We're good. We're good.
And our sound guy. Our whole crew has been
And-
Drops McGee.
And our
We
guest
have a
today,
guest.
Jason Wesoky.
Wesoky.
Wesoky. How many times did we practice
practiced
that?
so hard.
9
You
times.
practiced so hard.
Jason Wesoky. Thank you. I even wrote it down phonetically in my tablet and looked at it right before it came out my mouth and screwed it up.
That's all right, Gene, or
Or John or Jason Wesoky.
yeah.
Thanks for doing the show.
Oh, it's
good
my
to
pleasure
see you.
to be here.
It's good to see you.
My pleasure.
We have actually not. Have we met as far as like
Oh, we've shooken hands at various
at
events,
various venues?
but
Yeah.
we
And-
haven't hung out.
Yeah, but it's good. Thank you so much for doing the show, man. How long you been in the business?
Over 5 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
And you produce a show.
Yeah, Jezebel's. It's the second Sunday of every month. It's a cool little spot in the Highlands. And
Highlands, Northern Denver.
33rd and Tejon is the address. So yeah, it's a great little spot. Good little show, and everything's good. We're in there 6 months, so we're starting to pick up a little bit of steam. We're doing an open mic the first hour, and then a showcase the second hour. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. I mean, there's a lot of shows out there right now.
It's crazy,
But
man.
that's okay. I mean, that's the business. It used to be no other shows.
Right.
Where's your show?
Jezebel's?
Shut up.
I was focused on my stuff.
Giddy up.
At Jezebel's. And you have a day job.
I do have a day job.
Are you really a lawyer?
I really am a lawyer.
What?
Bona fide.
A bona fide lawyer.
That's right.
What type of lawyer? Are you corporate law? Or
I do
what-
civil litigation, so lawsuits. It runs the gamut from personal injury car crashes to real estate transactions to contracts to landlord-tenant. I like the variety of the work, so I pretty much do everything. If there's a lawsuit, I'll either be the guy who's suing, representing the guy who's suing, or defending. So I'm both sides of the aisle too.
Either way, wherever the money's coming from.
That's the goal.
You work pro bona fide?
Thanks for waiting.
I'm on board.
That's cool, pro bona fide. All right, so you've been a lawyer for how long?
13 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so
I know.
So one day, I guess, let's see, 7, 8 years into your lawyer career,
Right.
you decided, hey, I want to do stand-up.
Yes.
How'd that come about?
Well, I was working at a big fancy firm downtown, and I was going to be laid off in like 4 or 5 months. The economy had taken a tank, and the guy I was working under, he left to go be district attorney. So I had nothing to do, and they pay you for like 3 months, 4 months just to show up.
Okay, right. Right.
Well, you look for another job, and I don't know why, but I was a creative writing major undergrad, so I started writing what I thought were jokes, and then decided, hey, I'll go try these out. And so I went online and found the open mic at the Lions Lair and the open mic at the Squire, and I showed up at the Lions Lair at 9 o'clock, which is about an hour and a half too early. In my
thumping.
Oh, sorry, that's my foot.
Oh.
My bad.
I was like, what is that?
Our guest is nervous
I was like,
today.
what is that noise? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so
Today on the EUGE show, we grilled the attorney. Why do you want to be a comedian?
I plead the fifth, Your Honor. I plead the fifth. Please, don't subject me to this ridicule.
So you showed up at the Lions Lair.
Yeah, I showed up at the Lions Lair at 9:30 in an outfit much like this, khakis and a button-up shirt. I fit in well at the Lions Lair with a bunch of derelicts.
How
Oh my
soon
God.
before they kicked you out?
Yeah, exactly. They start,
Well, it looked like I had money, so they kept me there.
Tell the kids at home what the Lions Lair looks. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Tell
yeah.
the kids at home what the Lions Lair looks like.
So the Lions Lair, they've given it a facelift recently, but you walked in and it was basically black on black paint. some beautiful
And black on
velvet.
black crime.
Yeah, a lot of black on black crime. Right outside though. Right outside. It's actually famous for being a pretty sweet punk bar.
Okay.
And Diana DeGette did christen the jukebox with some seal of approval as a great musical selection.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta bring her in.
Well, as one of the safest seats in Congress, that's the kind of stuff that she's doing, which is well worth our tax dollars.
Yeah.
But the Lions Lair is I love the Lions Lair. It's got character galore. It's got a clientele that consists of now hipsters, but used to be drunks.
Right.
There's apparently an old ghost that haunts the men's bathroom who's a pimp.
I've heard the story.
Whoa!
There was
I've never seen him.
I
But
don't know it.
a
And
ghost
so,
of a pimp that was killed there.
Go ahead about the ghost.
Ghost of a pimp that was killed there in some horrible way and never left. And
All right, so
he walks the Lion's Lair in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know, he's in the bathroom and he's nowhere else for some reason.
yeah, he like walks out of the bathroom and then sort of like dissipates.
Yeah.
That's kind of how his
like a
Wanted to-
fart.
right.
I wish I caught that.
Dissipate was what did it for me.
You're good. I just wanted to talk, describe dive bars as that's the kind of first
Well,
place
that's the first
you
place
can
you
tell
do stand-up.
jokes.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's an open mic.
But
Yeah.
let's get back to the
Okay.
ghost story. Explain
There's
one
a-
more time.
Well, there's a pimp. He comes out. He dissipates, and so
How about
you're there. You're at the
any
Lions
way
Lair.
you can fix this camera angle? Perfect. You did great. You were down in the
Oh, was I-
corner.
oh, I'm sorry, was I laying down?
I want to go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I got you,
So
I got you.
Can you tell the
All right.
ghost story real quick?
Ghost comes out of the bathroom. Black guy at the Lions Lair dissipates.
He's full pimp
That's
too.
the
He's got like the
story.
hat
Yeah.
and cane.
You know, like Rooster on Starsky and Hutch, that kind of pimp.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guy.
No.
Well, Google Rooster on Starsky and Hutch.
I know that. Yeah. I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely know Rooster. But I'm screwing up the camera work here. I'm trying to get you all the gossip about the ghost. So a pimp-looking ghost
A pimp-looking ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
comes out.
There used to be, I guess, whores.
We're gonna get back to your comedy.
No,
the whole interview.
horrors are way more
Horrors
We're
interesting.
just catching this.
There used to be
I
whores.
didn't know.
Yeah. There used
Yeah.
to be whores, and now I don't know how he died. Do you know how he died?
I
The
don't.
pimp?
I
mean,
don't. I don't know if
somehow
anybody knows. I think it's lost to the
Probably
lore
some
of Colfax.
Ruthless beatdown at some point. I don't know, but
Okay.
and he comes out of the bathroom at the Lions Lair, and he dissipates. So there we are.
A couple local guys have allegedly seen him. I think Nate Balding saw him, although Nate Balding could have just been in a drunken stupor. I'm
Wasn't
not
he?
quite sure.
Yeah.
It's
Standard.
Every time I've played there, I've been drunk.
Well, I played there once, and
Never-
that was my first and last. I was like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I don't see where that's gonna, help me.
Done
benefit
my time,
Yeah.
but now I want to go play there again.
Did
I want to see it.
I love the Lair. I go almost every week
you? Did you really?
because you never know what's going to happen.
So what?
People have been accosted on stage. One comedian got in a fight with a bartender, pulled out like a tuft of his hair. Drunk people stumble in off the street and can't find their way out. It's like, watching a mouse in a cheese maze.
Oh
It's
God.
fun. And then sometimes the comedy's great too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Sometimes.
oftentimes it's not.
But you got to do those shows,
You gotta put in your time.
and you're still in those shows.
Yeah. I mean, I love doing those kinds of shows. 'Cause I would never be at the Lions Lair, but for comedy, I wouldn't even known it existed.
True.
I mean,
True.
that's not my normal crowd that I run with. So I like getting out and finding different spots that I would totally never be
Really,
a
you
part
don't
of.
leave your lawyer job and run down on Colfax to the line.
I know. Well, it's not the '80s anymore, right?
Yeah, isn't that right? Isn't that right?
I don't have a Coke dealer that's there, but I imagine that's what the '80s were like for lawyers.
So
before we did ghosts here, sorry I interrupted.
That's okay.
We were right at how you started.
Yeah.
tell me about it. Tell me
Lions
about
Lair
your
Squad.
So I everybody remembers their first couple sets, and I told a story about dressing up as Prince for Halloween, and it was not funny at all. And standing there for 5 minutes, having people stare at you as you talk about stories and people that they've never met. for some reason seemed like it was pretty thrilling. So
What was not funny about your set?
the fact that it wasn't a joke, there were no jokes, it was just stories that I couldn't tell well.
What did you think was gonna be funny?
So I think like I didn't know it was called a tagline then, but like the end of the story was I dressed up as Prince and I kind of looked like a woman, and I actually hooked up with a girl that night, which didn't happen to me a lot in college. And I woke up the next morning and I looked like a chick. I had mascara on, and like I had the word slave,
Right.
printed. I had glitter in my hair. And so the end of the joke, which took me way too long to get there as it is now, was I realized
You learned timing.
That's right.
Okay.
I realized that I didn't hook up with a girl that night. I actually had my first lesbian experience,
Okay.
Dang.
which
Alright.
was mediocrely funny
Well,
if you
joke.
knew all the people in play. So then I went to the Squire the next night and had Greg Baumauer kick me in the nuts, not literally but
Right.
figuratively, and that also was thrilling.
What did Baumhauer say?
So what Baumauer said after making fun of my shoes for some reason, again,
For some reason, what sort of shoes?
Were they
did you
expensive?
have?
no, they were just they frankly they were ugly shoes. They were like brown, weird leather shoes, and again I was dressed in work clothes because.
Okay.
The Squire, I think, on the website said it started at like 9:30 or 10, but that thing doesn't start till midnight, so I
exactly.
was sitting there for
Yeah.
2 hours. But Baumauer said, he goes, I wish I could find the woman at your office who told you were funny and kick her right in the vagina.
That's a classic Squire joke.
Right.
That's a classic Squire.
Right,
That's
so-
Greg Baumhauer.
Yeah.
You don't have to dwell on Baumhauer, other than getting a lesson out of what would you have done differently for your first two open mics?
Oh, well, I mean, I probably would have spent a lot more time learning how you actually craft a joke. The concept of a twist at the end, or a setup, a punch, as opposed to just doing what I thought was kind of funny. And I'm not one of the guys who is at the office who's always cracking people up, but I thought I had a pretty good wit about me. But at the Squire, I did a joke about how I'm white but I can dance, and so I did like a hip hop dance on stage. It was humiliating. But I kept coming back. I don't know why.
You'd better be able to dance if you're going to do a bit like that. You better
Right,
be able
yeah.
to pull that off, right?
Yeah, but I did like the Roger Rabbit. It's not like I was
my
breakdancing or
God.
anything. But so it was fun. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed. It got me out of the house. And then what, was sort of just a distraction became a hobby. And now it's kind of, hopefully blossoming into something more. We'll see. I've got the crutch of a regular career, so I can always just say, oh, this isn't,
Right.
I'm not really banking on this.
So you're not planning on hitting the road? Going,
No, I got a family, and I've seen a couple roadie comics, and it's a tough life. You would know
Yeah,
it, man.
it's a
But
rough life. Uh-huh.
I got a couple young kids and a wife at home, so
oh, right on.
and a mortgage to pay. So
Yeah, it's definitely a trade-off. It's
Yeah.
definitely a trade. You miss. I think that I said this a couple of times. Howie Mandel said it. Like you don't pay me to come here and do jokes. You pay me to leave my family behind.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
and miss all that to come here and tell
the,
you.
the folks at home pay you to work that camera
Hey,
angle.
What am I doing
You
wrong?
keep falling way out of that camera
Oh.
angle, and then you're looking to him, and
Well,
those people love it when you talk to them. I'm just saying.
Hello, folks at home. How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
They really enjoy you. And
I'm gonna talk to Jason now. So come along with me. Hey, go back to this. There you go. So
you like you?
come along with me over here. Hey, there we go.
Well, I like that. I like
See?
that. See,
See?
now you're working that camera angle.
Meet me at
That's
camera 3, right?
wonderful.
There you go. I like that.
I'm
Meet me at
you
camera
know,
3.
I'm-
All right.
I keep fucking up your water breaks too, by the way.
Thank you. It's warm in here in this jacket.
Yeah, we never let him have a water break.
And the
either.
studio audience here is very, very patient.
So tell me
that's
about your kids. You got a wife. You got 2 kids. You said.
good. 2 kids, yeah, 6 and 5 now, boy and a
Wow.
girl. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
they're
they
fun.
watched you grow up. Doing stand up. They've grown up watching you do.
Yeah, I don't let them watch because
You're filthy.
filthy. A lot of it's about them.
You don't want to give them a complex.
No,
Right.
not yet. I'm sure I'm doing that just by my own terrible parenting skills. But they know that I do it. I'm like, oh, I got to go do a show, and they're like, oh, Daddy's going to comedy tonight, you know. So
who were the first people that you came out to as far as like comedy? You know, say I think I want to tell jokes.
I don't. Probably my wife. I
Yeah.
probably told her I was like, I'm going to go do open mic comedy, and she probably shook her head. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So my parents have come to a bunch of shows, whether it's open mics at the beginning or now regular, sort of showcases. And they're really actually supportive, and they're great. And they bring friends sometimes, which
Right.
oftentimes is regrettable for those
Yeah,
friends.
exactly.
But
I tell people never have friends in the audience. Oh my God, it's too much pressure. You know.
last night at my show in the Highlands, a couple of girls I went to high school with and haven't seen in 15 plus years. Our 20th reunion's coming up, so everybody's Facebooking right now,
Right.
and so they came and watched the show, which was kind of fun. I hadn't seen them in so long,
Right.
and it was an interesting show. We had this woman show up for the open mic who literally brought like 30 people.
So they own the room.
Oh my God, they owned the room, and terrible tippers, by the way.
God. Oh God.
But
They weren't black.
Of course they were.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't even want to go there, but I had to.
Well, here's
Please.
here's what I learned that night. So
Are you liable for what you just said?
So the owners of the restaurant are friends of mine, and they're black, and they're like, here's the thing: black people are terrible tippers, and white people are really nosy. So that's pretty much how it goes.
So did you ask how much they tipped?
No, they told me. So the owner guy, Rick, really nice guy, again, black guy. He's like, oh, dude, $2 on 70, like just.
Oh my God.
And one guy tried to walk out on his bill. He had to like run down the street and chase him. So it was a bit of a scene. So the woman who did the comedy,
And this was in the Highlands?
yeah, they were all dressed like they were going to church, man. They were all dressed up.
Yeah, I know.
They look good.
Don't fool you.
They
That
look
don't
good.
mean nothing.
But this woman had done, she got in her white linens press. She looked good. Derek Rush was headlining.
Oh, okay.
So he gave her the business. She was long gone, but he gave her the business
Derek
afterwards.
Rush is a black comic here in Denver. You missed the camera shot. I'm gone now. All right.
Oh, really?
I know. So Derek Rush is a black comic here in Denver. Very funny young man.
Yeah, he was great. But it was fun. And she did 15 minutes of internet jokes and Bill Cosby routines. So
Well, wait, before we get on this other, was that it? Did you do the routine you want to do? Were your friends impressed?
yeah, no, they had fun. Yeah, it was good. I mean, and I'm just the host, so I'll do like 5 at the front and 10 in between the open mic and the showcase. So yeah, that's fun.
How long has it been between Greg and the Squire and the Shoes and last night's?
5 years. It was 5 years in
Okay.
February.
Alright.
So yeah.
Are you telling the jokes you want to tell now?
Yeah. I mean, you're always learning. That's one of the cool parts. Is you're always learning. Everyday life throws stuff at you, and you try and make it funny. And sometimes it works, sometimes it
So
doesn't.
do you consider yourself Denver's funniest lawyer?
Well, I don't know. I think Troy Walker's got that. I'm
Troy?
probably Denver's funniest practicing lawyer because he doesn't really practice law.
Right.
But Troy Walker's the funniest guy with the JD out there, as far as I know.
Pretty funny.
He's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Shook It. He's got sort of like the one-liners. He's got
Yeah.
almost like Jackie Martling, like actual jokes,
Exactly.
like old-time jokes.
I
But yeah, there's a few of us.
think that I don't know why lawyer. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm fading out of that picture again.
Oh, are you?
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm back on again.
We'll fix that in post, right?
That's the problem. We have no post.
Right.
Yeah. And I want this camera angle.
It's all right now. God. So it seems that stand-up. I mean, I've done stand-up forever, and I've met a ton of lawyer comics.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It seems that stand-up and lawyering go hand in hand. I mean, they're a good mesh there. Do you any ideas? Any thoughts?
I mean, my guess is that, particularly if you're a litigator and you're doing trials and stuff like that, the fear of standing up in front of an audience is less, which is probably what prohibits a lot of people from doing it just sort of out of the crowds. I mean, standing up in front of a group of strangers is very intimidating.
Right.
But for a lawyer who's doing that, 2, 3, 4, maybe a dozen times a year in front of a jury, it's not as intimidating.
Now, when you're doing your closing argument, do you stand up and go, and I think I'll close with this?
No.
And
No, but every comic does that, right? It's a bad tick.
I just want to throw that out there at someone. Thank you.
It's true.
Your Honor, I want to thank the clerk.
I want to
security,
thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for being here.
Right.
Do you, any of that? No crossover?
No.
You don't open with a joke? I want to hear
No, but the humor does help because as a lawyer, you've definitely got to engender yourself to the jury and make, because when you walk into a courtroom, they think of you as the other. Like, oh, this guy's kind of running the show, he's in charge. Nobody likes lawyers generally, so you have to sort of break those barriers down quickly. So humor helps. I mean, I'm not telling jokes, but you know, a little bit of witty banter with the audience, which is the jury, not the judge. The judge could care less, but you know, making a few jokes, making fun of yourself, which is really what comedy is often about.
Self-deprecating.
Yeah, it helps the jury get a little more comfortable with you, and ultimately helps them trust you, which you need them to do because they got to buy your arguments.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I had noticed
And Cora Scott and the Florida Keys are letting us know we just got to go to break for a second. Say thanks to our sponsors.
All right, let's do that.
And we'll get right to it.
Thank you very much to our sponsors. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
This ain't gonna be long.
A little jazzy number.
We're burning that much computer.
All right. Did you want to say that live? As we came back.
Good. Timing's everything,
Sorry,
right?
my techno head came out.
It's okay. Tell us about your show, buddy. What do you want to do?
Well, we're maxing out our computer for some reason. I don't know if we have a thread that's not running right or whatever, but we'll check it out and we'll fix it.
Fix it.
Yeah, it was just something in my head. I shouldn't have went there. Yeah.
I think the folks at home learn when you talk.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd like to tell the folks at home, and you know, our audience is comics. We have a whole lot of comics that watch this show. That you can do what we do. What I do here is not anything, above your heads here. If you're willing to make the investment, it's simple. You can get the software, you can get the equipment, you can do your own broadcast. I mean, you can add video to your own podcast. I think what we do is what's coming, and I think that I don't want to discourage anyone from trying it, man. Put a camera in front of your face. I'd like to have a lot of people doing this. I'd like to have other networks that we could link to and talk to and share the information that we have. So
you are watching EUGE Show.
An inside look at chasing a dream. Sweet.
I just like Cora Scott and the Florida Keys.
And the
They're a
Florida
good
Keys.
band.
They are. I love them.
They're on point.
I love them.
So we were talking, and we'll go back to the guests in a second. We have goals for this break.
Yes. What are those goals?
We were going to do Papa Caption.
We're going to do Papa Caption. We are definitely. Do you know the game Papa Caption? And it's just like
I don't.
It sounds like we just some video. We're putting up some pictures. We're going to look and we're going to try to pop some funny captions into some of these videos. And here we go.
Oh.
Some of these stills. Let's see. That is.
That is a robot. That's the Terminator 2001.
Oh my. You want to take another?
The enlarged version.
Go and take that one.
All right.
That was really fussy. He's trying to do jokes. You and I are both geeking out over it. Folks, we were trying to get you a picture-in-picture shot, but it's really.
But it's not taking the picture right. But we could fix that.
There, folks.
That's all right. We should have stayed with the picture-in-picture. Oh. Hey, no, go up one line above that.
You.
No.
Jason, make some jokes about the picture we're looking at.
Up. The next clip.
That
right
is.
There. Click in there.
That is the future of male enhancement.
Do you see? No, that's the wrong one.
You take the red pill or take the blue pill. You're the one you're getting it in the face.
Oh, man.
Oh, I love that. Right in the face. Take some of that.
See, he worked in the red color and the blue color.
I like the way
right.
you do that.
My water gun's from Texas! For sure, a Texas shooter.
Hey, look how tiny his arms are. I don't think he can actually hold that thing up. He's like a waif model. Poor guy needs a backpack to hold his gun.
That guy's straight thin.
Yeah. He's not. What do you call it? Twinks?
Gay people, yeah. A twink would be like half the size of that. Are you crazy? That's straight skinny. That's a pair of 32s. That's big.
But he's got the nice sort of unshaven look, messed up hair. Probably he's in an Axe commercial after this. Oh, wow.
Also won at this game.
Somebody's smuggling plums. Woo. Looks like some of those polka dots got left in his pants.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He should have a doctor look at that. That is not in the right position.
Something's wrong there.
Wow.
This is the kind of game show the guys from Argentina can expect to host.
He's thinking, and I won, and I had to wear this. Wow. And I had to wear this. Oh, my God.
I guess Hante Sawane means deformed penis in Swedish.
Oh, Lord, look at this guy's got a pack.
Like a frat guy, you went right to there, huh?
I hadn't even noticed the dude's pack. This guy's got a pack, man.
Yeah, how do you not notice that? It's just directly in the center of the picture.
I was attracted to the pom-pom over his head or whatever he's waving. Some people would look at the tits.
Well,
they're covered by arms.
Yeah, there was nothing there. I don't know why I didn't notice that. No, I can't look at anything else.
I mean, the blonde's got some nice gams, but...
God.
There is an elephant in the room. I'm on board again. All right, very happy with that one. And all right, amazing man. Just step in there and get us a few jokes.
He just realized Captain America's not black. Poor guy.
It's not the place to take a dupe.
They didn't say not black. Oh my God.
She said to meet her here, right?
Boy, this Tinder is crazy.
I thought the A stood for autism.
This is our Special Olympic athlete of the day.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Speaking of an oh no.
He did it.
That's The Rock. Is that The Rock? Is that
Camera bomb?
Dwayne
selfie?
Johnson?
That is The Rock, isn't it?
It's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Is that The Rock?
He smells what he's cooking.
I don't
Who's
know.
he bodyguarding for?
It looks like Agent Smith from The Matrix.
You can't take a picture of Mr. Hong.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what's happening
It
there.
looks like
He's
they're both
bodyguarding
screaming he
for-
did it. Like,
He's got his beats on, though. Dre would be happy about that.
this should be entitled 2 minutes before the black guy goes to jail.
Does he have beats on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to work on a beats joke.
He does have beats on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my next boyfriend.
Oh,
Not
boy.
my next girlfriend.
Boy, those National Geographic pictures are getting less and less sexually attractive
Roll them
every
in
moment.
flour and go for the wet spot.
Applause break, Mr. Roy. Very nice. This is the Pillsbury
Larry Wild, I don't know. Man.
This is the
Where am I
Pillsbury
came
Doughboys
from?
slave.
Is that a joke I heard before, or a Larry Wild? I'm sorry, Larry Wild.
Pillsbury Doughboy?
These are the Pillsbury Doughboys slave. This is actually how your crescent rolls get made.
These are all people in a play, and they're playing white people.
Hey, I'm very offended. This is whiteface.
This is whiteface, like the
Oh my
minstrel.
God, an African minstrel. Terrific. All right. Another African minstrel show. How to celebrate German victory.
Yes.
Those frat guys know how to party.
God.
We're now doing the number 6.
I think that's something Daniel Tosh ordered them to do.
God.
Looks like planking with beers.
Are you calling me a liar?
Yeah, for real. The guy down below.
You think I can't stand on your head and drink a beer?
Real strong head.
Yeah.
That is a quality.
That is
I like.
that's a neckline you'd only want to
And a
make.
boyfriend.
Seriously.
He just
Which
looks.
bottle would you like to replace, Chuck Roy? Sorry.
He's so nonplussed. He's like, yes, there's a
That's
man
a good
on my
question,
head.
Chuck. Which
Yeah,
bottle is it?
yeah.
Is it the top bottle or the bottom?
Look, drunk in a bar and instantly be going for, down below. And I just, obviously in life, I overlook the opportunities of the aerialist.
Bending down to pick
Look
pennies.
who
Missing dollars.
The guy down below has a play of like, I don't want your approval, and the guy up above is like, look what I can do.
God.
Look at the hand job that guy could give. He's got grip.
You know, moments later, he swings both legs around and straddles this guy's head.
Thinking about him in swings. I'm done. Oh, wow.
Bow before your master. I actually saw somebody get gored in a bullfight in Spain. It was pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Now this.
Well, someone's
I
got to
didn't
do
know they
better
had those-
blocking in Pamplona.
Look at the balls on the I didn't know they had like
It
little.
sort of takes the
safety
fun
balls
away
on
from
this
it,
thing.
yeah.
Hold on.
Are you looking up where these seats are? Row 2, seat 6, 7.
I want to know.
Congratulations, these are wonderful seats. Cow come right through here.
I want to know who's got the cock shot laying underneath the bull there.
God, who is?
Somebody's looking at that,
And look at
going,
the guy doing the camera. He's just like, I'm doing a selfie.
I'm trying to point out where the cock shot is.
is that on my head?
Some of you, Eugene's about to get teabagged by this.
It's a big black bull.
Get.
This, I want to
Is
work
that-
in another
There you go.
soccer joke. Like, this is what happens when you lose the Spanish soccer.
Contest.
The reason I put this in here is
Spain
because
loses the World Cup. This is what they do to the team.
That's right.
these are the losers.
You did not win the World Cup. You must now fight bull.
A guy. Go back
This
one.
guy?
Go back one.
Sorry, not this
This
guy.
guy. There's a guy that has been doing the run with the bulls for like 15 years now. He wrote the book called How to Survive Pamplona, and he was gored this year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
to death?
No.
Oh.
He
Just
got gored
maimed.
Pretty good though.
Just maimed.
Bill Hillman is the
Sure it
guy's
wasn't
name.
Al.
Al Hillman?
Gourd.
Al Gore? No. But, yeah, he got gored. So I guess the new book will not be. The new book will be what? I don't know. What are the greatest
gourd in
ERs?
Pamplona?
What are the greatest emergency rooms in Pamplona?
Yeah.
I was like, how to get a.
Pamplona for dummies. I'm on the board again.
How to get a horn at your ass.
I'm thrilled.
Anyway.
Okay. What seat not to buy at Bonnaroo?
Jeez. Hey, Burning Man ended, dude. But wait, see, I think there's somebody in his lap. He's got a hands-free blowjob right there.
This guy just woke up and went, hey, show's over? Really?
Cleveland rocks.
Dude, you guys were great. You're the best roadies ever.
That is a lonely man right there.
Still trying to figure out if the guy's getting blown.
Trying to see knees or
It's
something,
going to
Dave.
affect a lot of my jokes.
What's going on?
Hey, you can move closer.
Please don't stop, Shannon.
The day the music died.
Oh, my
That guy's
God.
chair's about to break. It's looking like it's reached maximum capacity. One more rainbow umbrella. And
Can I have some more pie, Miss America?
would you like some whipped cream with that?
I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled.
Where is that?
Folks at home, have you figured out, is he getting
Is
a
he?
blow?
I don't know what's going on here.
And that's usually the gesture you make when you're getting a blowjob in front of either a lot of people or no people. It doesn't matter. Yes.
You're like, yeah, I'd be kind of gripping. Well, yeah, you can do either way, hands free.
Well, let's go back to, and I'll show you the gripping. Oh, right there. Sorry, we all knew that joke was coming.
The squirter.
And back to
Squirter.
shooting.
Yeah.
God, I love that game.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Just 7 seconds. This
Sweet.
band from Coco and the Puff Puffs. Brought to you by 420, and 4 other 20s.
Hey, welcome back to EUGE, an inside look at Chasing a Dream. I have my Old-Guard glasses on.
Really?
Yeah.
I caught you with those?
Yeah.
All right.
So, Jason, how you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good.
All right. So far we have not taken a look at any of your stand-up yet.
Yeah?
You tell jokes?
He does tell jokes.
I tell
We have-
jokes.
We have, some of your stand-up. Let's have a look at what you do.
All
Alright,
right.
I'm gonna keep it straight going. We have one more comedian before we bring up Hippie Man. This guy's very funny. Please put your hands together I sure hope he's coming to the stage quickly. Jason Wesoky, everybody. Give it up for Jason Wesoky. All right, Boulder, Biergarten. How are you? Comedy is pretty awesome. It teaches you how to communicate effectively with a group of people. You can read a room. I learned a great example of this recently, and this is probably the most apropos setting for this joke that I've ever done it in. We'll try it. So, where are my Jews at? Where are my Jews at? Smattering of applause.
Where are my Jews at?
Quietly raising your hand. Right. That's an okay way to ask that question. Here is not an okay way to ask that question. Where are the Jews? Where are the Jews? Communication, people. You have to do it effectively. Otherwise, you can scare the shit out of a room of Jewish people. We are an easily scared people. We are also terrible at manual labor. I don't know if you guys know this. If you're married to a Jew, dating a Jew, if you're a Jewish man, you know that you suck at manual labor.
Points for having
and the reason is the manual labor gene was bred out of the species, about 2 millennia ago. One guy built a shitty cabinet for a pharaoh and ruined it for the rest of us. From that day forward, all you heard when you did well in shop was stories from your mother. Ira, you are not going to be doing shop. Did you hear about Mary's poor baby Jesus? I mean, I tell you, he fucked up one cabinet, they nailed him to the cross, you're going to do mathematics. Nobody ever got crucified for doing mathematics. It's true. Even Galileo didn't get crucified. He was just ostracized and eventually won that war. History, people. All right, science and history.
Do you ever do the fun half of the joke?
It's coming, just another 10 minutes.
Crossfitters?
Setting up.
No. You're at a beer garden eating sausage and buttery flavored things. Clearly not CrossFitters. But CrossFit is becoming too much like a religion these days. I don't know if you know that. It's nuts. I mean, people on Facebook, that's all they post about is CrossFit this and CrossFit that. And I think they should actually just, fuck it, make it a religion. Because Jesus was the original CrossFitter. I mean, that guy had shredded abs, 40 days in the desert, eating nothing but hummus. That guy was tossing kettlebells over the Red Sea. At least I think that's what happened historically. I don't really actually know. I didn't read that half of the book. I just read the half where he smites people. God smites people. But if you think about it, Jesus had like this cult following of people, and he'd sit up on top of a rock and talk about how awesome things were. And then there's the part of the Bible that says the meek shall inherit the earth. But CrossFit Jesus didn't actually believe that. They left off the last part of that sentence. The meek shall inherit the earth, but we will beat those motherfuckers down with our CrossFit shit. And there's a church of the CrossFit Jesus. I don't know if you've been to it. It's at a local CrossFit gym in downtown Denver, Larimer and 21st. And inside this gym, there's this giant mosaic of a Jesus, and he is up there, fucking red eyes, and his pecs are like, bam! He's like Schwarzenegger up there. He's got this fucking, it's not even a six-pack, it's an eight-pack, because he's Jesus, right? And he's got like the loincloth on, and you can kind of see the shadow of his dick, because when you are a CrossFitter, even your dick is awesomely fit, like it's veiny and bulging. It's awesome. And he's got these thighs, like these just thighs, like you just want to lick them, you just want to coat them in butter and just lick them and lick them. Like, oh, CrossFit Jesus, please touch me with your awesome loins, CrossFit Jesus.
You got to do a joke about Gary Lords.
I'm not in CrossFit. This black T-shirt hides my stomach really well, and several years of athletic activity have slowly morphed into not quite breasts, but they're getting there. And I'm just hoping a few push-ups a day will stave off the breastlessness. But we'll see.
You gotta laugh.
Yeah.
Well, the punchline to that whole thing, which I can turn into a one-liner too, is how do we know that Jesus was the original CrossFitter? Because he fit on a cross. Fucking perfectly.
Right on.
So
I would move that way up to the front.
Yeah, I like that. That was quick.
I can do it one line, and I've shortened that significantly.
We have a minute before we got to go to breaker. So I want to ask you, like,
Yeah.
is that the amount of laughs you want to get?
No, you want to get more, way more. Yeah.
I mean, you know.
No,
was that your goal?
No, I wanted to hit harder, and you know, part of my problem is I think I write better than I deliver.
Okay.
Like, and I just don't take the time because I'm lazy. Is really what it comes down to memorize what I write. Because when I write it, you know, I take time to craft the words and pick the right words.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I'll get up there and I won't have it fully memorized, so I kind of end up, you know, dancing around it, not getting it right.
Can't you memorize a joke?
I can, yeah. I mean, it is possible.
Knock that skill out and you know, get to the jokes.
Yeah. It's hard. That's the hard part is memorizing it.
That's a great joke that you just did. That's a great joke.
So you get how much silence was there?
Yeah.
And I don't think I was trying to be hard on you.
No.
You know, I'd have walked out if I was really there, but like I'm trying to watch here for feedback.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering, is that what the girls were watching? And you know, you should say you're lucky you're married. You know, if you're gonna do it for real,
right?
It doesn't matter professionally or anything. But if you're gonna try to achieve the goal at a show like the Boulder Comedy Show,
right?
Where he's trying to do it for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to get to the jokes.
Yeah.
You can talk for that long if you want.
Sure.
But
yeah,
I want to know your opinion on. Did you think that was too long?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things that you learn early on, and you know, Deacon Gray, one of his main notes when you do Comedy Works when you're starting out is, you know, get to the joke faster. And you know, that's something that I struggle with all the time because I know what I want to say and I just haven't put it together or practiced it enough or sat down and spent an hour just memorizing it before I go on stage, which is something I need to do. And when I do it right, you know, like before some of the bigger shows I'll do, whether it's, you know, a contest here or, you know, bigger show there, you know, you end up spending that time and it goes much better.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's the hard part is.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a big
Doing it
believer
right.
in that. If you got a laugh, and you know, pull some words out of it, and see if you still get a laugh. If you still do, you didn't need those words. Pull some more words out of it. I mean, the quicker you can get to your joke, the quicker you can get on to the next joke. The quicker everybody's going to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's, you know, especially in a place like I recognize this place that this tape is from Boulder.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
Beer Garden.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a great venue. I mean, it's a nice stage. You know, they've got a nice setup there, but it is full of, you know, college kids.
Yeah.
That have, a lot of them been drinking.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you got to capture them.
Right.
You know, they're really they're that, hey, let's be funny right now.
Right.
Let's be funny right now. I noticed that a lot of comics these days, rather than getting to the joke, increase the volume. They do a joke and then it's like they're just rambling.
Yeah.
But getting louder, and I don't know if that's like a trigger. You know, now this is where, you know, you're supposed to be into the joke, and you're supposed to be laughing or not. But that's become a thing these days, which I really don't understand. Like, you know, jokes are here. Jokes are as tight as possible to you that you can get them. The quicker you can get from here I am to you're laughing, the better for everybody.
Right. Absolutely.
You know,
Hey, we got the jokes, and we're going to get to your ad if we go right to here.
That's right. If you were advertising with us right now, I'd be talking about your product, telling people about how much we enjoy your product. So, you know, give us a call, send us an email. I don't know why I'm just talking to the yeah, exactly. Or send us an email to Eugene at EUGEshow.com. That's Eugene at EUGEshow.com, or Chuck at EUGEshow.com. Chuck recently got his own email.
Oh yeah, and if you want to send fan mail to Cora and the Florida Express, our house band for the last break.
Yeah.
Today we're on a program of putting in new house bands in certain breaks.
Right.
To try that out. There's a big group of bands that want to play here.
A lot.
A lot.
Like, we've got a lot of emails
So,
from
thanks to Core.
Most of them are elderly. Most of them are
Well,
in Florida.
We like the oboe. We like the flute. We like the oboe, and some clarinet. And,
I'm a bassoon man myself.
We're banjo fans.
Yeah. So that's and we got a great closeout band to try out as well. So thanks to the crew for Mika, Stan, and the rest of the gang. So, we had fun.
So what's next for you, man? Where do you head from here? I understand you're not gonna leave the day job, but as far as in comedy, what are your dreams in stand up? Do you have?
I think what I'd like is more than anything is just peer recognition. I think that's one thing that everybody strives for, and that's the one thing that is always seemingly a little bit elusive. Like there's always somebody better, but getting recognition from people who you respect. That.
Who are you looking for peer recognition from?
Well, not to kiss ass. I mean, you guys are both great, well-known comics who do great work. I've seen you guys do.
People would know.
People would know.
We are definitely small. We are small pond famous.
Yeah. Don't do no sucking up on our show. It's huge show. We get it. Huge get it.
We have the smallest huge show in the world.
I don't think you can say that on the internet.
Oh man.
Right.
But no, I mean, like the guys that I find funny locally, I think Ben Roy. The first time I saw him at Comedy Works, he did a joke about motorcycles and how like the guy who rode the motorcycle, everything matched, and it slayed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's like if I could let go of everything and let my true kind of personality come out, which is hard to do, like getting to know yourself as part of comedy.
Right.
Like I feel like that's how I might sound, but I've never been able to overcome that and get there. Sort of like an angry,
inside,
yeah. Ask anybody. Just sort of like a tempest in a teapot.
And you're how old?
38.
You're 38, and you're rich.
Yes. I'm in the top 10%.
You're okay.
The jokes you want to do though, for real. Like
I was going to say, what are you angry about?
Of what you brought to Brent the Great,
right?
Who is someone I go for his peer review.
Yeah.
That's who I go through if I'm going to get an opening act. And do you think he was going to send me that tape about you?
No way.
So why'd you bring that to Brent?
That's
the show.
That set.
Why'd I bring it here?
Why'd you bring that set to Brent?
When I went there,
right up at the front. Wow, so now. I mean, I'm grilling you.
No, that's fine.
And
it's good.
I think it'll get to what your own personal criticism.
Yeah. Well, so the opening joke about communication, where are the Jews? I think that's a good sort of quick hitter opener, kind of gets the crowd going.
Well, that was probably 40 seconds of setup on that. I mean, that was because there was a good portion of time where you said, and this is the perfect audience to do this joke too, which is not even necessary for us.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I tend to, when I watch my own sets back, or I listen to them, I hear myself with a lot of verbal tics, ums and uhs, and that's just simply lack of rote memorization. Again, it's just me being lazy.
Not verbal tics, but go back to how could you have tightened up that set? Mm-hmm. What's the bulk? Where does the bulk come from, and how would you correct it?
Right. So the bulk, and I do this, I see myself doing this oftentimes, is I'll have a line that I think is funny and has hit before, and if it doesn't hit with that audience or that moment, I'll then just start to probably panic a little and try and fill in with a little extemporaneous stuff that's never, frankly, any good. I mean, that's what the Lions Layer is for, I guess. But and then that just kind of it gets bloated, and then I start losing track of where I should be. So when you have that happen, when a joke doesn't go like you think it should, I start to panic and start to try and just fill it in, but it never works. So that's the hard part. I mean, I did a show in Vegas.
If there's someone who's bored and watching, say on YouTube, if you could comment with what does extemporaneous mean?
Sorry.
No, I love it. I could use my context clues, but I don't want to Google either.
Extemporaneous means in addition to.
Off the top of your head kind of stuff.
Eugene on the board with the definition.
But anyway, it just means God. Hyperbole.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
Well, in addition to that, you talked earlier that like your friends and family were at shows, and maybe that wasn't the kind of material you wanted them to see. Do you think you could fill in the quiet spots with what material that what if your grandparents walked in, or if I walked in, I would want to see?
yeah, I mean, so that first part of that set, it's got a running theme. So it's sort of like a religious-based, talking about Jews and Jesus and things like that. And, I like that concept, but I just don't have it tight enough. And then...
you can stop right there.
Yeah.
You just don't have it tight enough.
Yeah.
Just tighten it up a little.
He's saying tighten it up a little bit. I wonder, could you articulate what you would do to tighten that up? Or?
I'd get rid of all the fluff. So, I mean, I can do that joke in a one-liner, which I've done, and it does well as a one-liner. I do like, and I get a decent number of laughs with, describing Jesus as like this ripped CrossFitter.
Okay, keep that out of frame.
I looked up there, I was like, whoa, there's stage direction happening.
We're trying to figure out how to get the folks at home the show to wrap on time for them.
Oh, gotcha.
They got to pay the babysitter when
Right.
the show's over. Or it's time to start cooking dinner.
Right.
Yes,
People
gotcha.
do a lot. So I was trying to tell my friend we had about 8 minutes left.
Gotcha.
And I did that by, I've been putting both my hair into your shot and now my fingers.
I'm sure it's an
Along with
improvement.
dropping everything. And I probably unplugged some wires.
Well, you actually hooked them up today.
So you get to do that anyway.
You're
That's
free
where
to
I
tighten
unplugged
them
a lot.
down. You're free to, it's very, very cool.
You're kind.
All right, so Chuck was grilling you
Yeah,
about.
it's good.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because one thing, to circle back to the Squire, one thing that I think Denver is missing right now is that criticism. Baumauer, for all of his flaws, was great at giving people a hard time when they genuinely deserved it. Like, go back and do it better. And there isn't, Mike, there isn't a show that does that right now. And it helped me. More of it would help not only me, but I think everybody else.
You were watching EUGE. We do that.
We do that.
We definitely
That's
do that.
exactly, that's the reason for the show.
Good.
That's, we hope that, we can mentor and use a little bit of the knowledge that we've learned to pass on to comics, because we saw that, we recognized that here in Denver, that it's a great comedy scene here in Denver, Colorado, but it's not as tight as most people make it out to be. It's not as friendly as most people make it out.
If you were a Johnny New guy, our goal is always have somebody who's like brand new at comedy. Watch our Krista Harris episode. She did her second set, and
really?
we interviewed her the day after.
Oh,
and
really?
That's, the goal for a guest. But if I'm going to watch someone who's been doing it 5 years and send me a tape of Brent Gill's performance, then I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's
and
great.
Find out. I wanted to find out the truth as well, because I still want, when I want to know about what kind of comedy you do and stuff. What kind of comedy would you want to do to fill in those moments if you're going to progress.
Yeah. Well, I like political stuff. I think like I'm an armchair politician, you know, like
Really?
I love watching that stuff. My wife works in politics. I've always been interested in it. And so there's not a lot of audience, at least that I've found, for political humor here. And I've got a couple of political jokes, but you know, I don't bring them out that often. And so I would love to, you know, like the controversial political stuff, controversial religious stuff, you know, sort of that.
What's your lean, left or right?
Way left.
Okay.
You know, like Lewis Black kind of does. You know, his political commentary, Bill Maher's political
it's
commentary.
all explained in it,
Yeah.
why your jokes are half thought out. It's similar to your politics, I would assume.
I know you're like the one log cabin Republican left.
I am further than a log cabin. There's a bear den. That's a hole that's deeper than a log cabin.
No lie.
I'm sorry. If I have to, I'll make the jokes. I'll do that.
Man, we'll have to point cameras at you two.
We could do a crossfire.
I would cut your jokes. I would cut your jokes down.
Yeah.
And memorize them.
I know.
And start adding, just a set list. Like, you can memorize a set list.
Yeah, I got the set list. I just like the actual like verbatim, because there's some comics who, you know, they've got the way so Lewis Black was being interviewed,
Sure.
and he's got, you know, a couple of punches and hits, and then he kind of meanders around in each show. It's a little bit different. And then there's guys like Seinfeld who there's not a single word that's out of place.
Right. That's me. I'm word for word.
Yeah.
So you can.
And I need to do that.
You can figure out your own method of that, but we agreed at the beginning of this that you could add, say, memorizing all the jokes you want to do.
Right.
And in your advanced work, just write the joke and cut out the extra words, but start adding in more political jokes.
What is your writing technique?
Or home jokes.
Do you do the word for word when you write them down?
Yeah, so, you know, my profession obviously is a lot of writing.
Yes.
And so that's something that I think I do pretty well. And so, yeah, in my notebook, you know, I change out words, cut stuff, bring new stuff in. And so when I write a joke, it'll be, you know, a full, you know, little notepad pages, but like a full page and a half. And the words are there, and they're in the right spot.
Whoa. No kidding, it's a page and a half. I saw a page and a half. How long was the joke we laughed at? 2 lines.
Right. Yeah. The one-liner, yeah.
So I would start looking at your long jokes and seeing if you can't. I'd consider.
Sure.
I wouldn't follow my advice unless you want to end up in a garage. But if you want to end up happy and in a garage, I would
Look where our
consider
comedy
this.
careers have landed, you know?
If you're going to tell a story, it still needs that.
The punch.
Those laughs at the same rate, or if not faster,
Okay.
than the rate you're setting with your one-liner.
Okay.
You know, if you're
That
in a
makes sense.
boxing match, you don't want to punch and then be like, and then I'll be back in 9 minutes with this really great punch.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're convinced that wicked, awesome, brilliant Jewish joke at the beginning is done. And I would look at that thing and find the top 6 to 18 words you want.
Okay.
And cut out the other page and a half.
All right.
You know, because that was the part that got the silence.
So then that begs the question, when you first come on stage,
Try not to use the phrase "beg the question."
sorry.
Just when you first come on stage. Way into a set like this.
Never
right.
say beg the question,
Sorry,
right up
sorry.
front.
But no, I mean, like when you first come on stage, what do? Do you just start in your jokes? Isn't there a time where you kind of have to talk to the audience a little bit? And
No.
Say hello to him.
Well,
Yeah.
Chuck does. His opening is crowd work. Period. It is coming on and greeting the crowd on the front row, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of your opening.
Yeah.
And my set is exactly the opposite of what he does. My set is an introduction of myself
unless you go first as a host.
Well, oh yeah, if I'm hosting, yeah, if I'm,
Sure.
we're talking. I
That's
thought
why
we were
my,
talking.
my set is a host set.
Yeah.
Generally, people refer to.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Or it's my whole set is built around hosting,
Right.
even when I headline.
Okay.
You know, because I hosted everything. But,
Right.
But my set is just like I believe my set and my comedy. I have the same rule. The quicker that I can get you to sit down and get into my rhythm, the better off for everybody. So I don't really. My set is not to come out and hi, I'm Eugene, and you know, here I am, introduce myself to you, kind of a
Right.
thing. My set is you know, here I am. Here's my first joke. Here's my next joke. Here's my next joke. By the time I'm on to the third joke, they know what I'm doing.
Sure.
Let's settle in and watch this show. You know, that's the how I do it. I'm not. You know. That's,
Yeah.
I don't think that. I don't think necessarily that you have to introduce yourself to the crowd. You know,
Okay.
because the crowd's there to see, you know, comic.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Also, I'd like to say at the end of the show, please don't raise your voice and say your name. I mean, I watched.
Yeah, like you're a rock star.
Yeah, I did a show this weekend, and everyone in front of me did the exact same thing. It was the closing line. I did it, and that's my time. I'm Eugene Kitty, and then they went.
And that's my time. You know what I think about as a producer? Thanks for throwing me under the bus. Did I not allot you enough time for your genius tonight? Oh, screw me! I should have done better. I could have planned. That's all I hear as on a producer's end. It's you know, it's not the most creative line in comedy.
No.
It's like, you
No.
might as well close with, and what do you do for work? I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because
Speaking of
on me.
closure,
Oh, okay.
Cora and the Getaways got to get away to their next gig. And they want to play. Cora and the Getaways, you give us a few
Give us
minutes.
a second. Give us a second,
We're
girls.
gonna wrap up the
We'll
conversation.
be right with
This
you.
takes time.
It's like I said, everybody that we interview, man. I mean, we own this equipment. This is our garage, so we can do and talk to pretty much anybody we want to.
Yeah.
And we really want to talk to you because we think you're going to be huge in this business. I like what I saw in your set. I've seen you do other things before, and I liked what I saw, and I really wanted to see what your story was. And I'm glad we had this conversation.
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
You're a very interesting person. So
I'm just not another boring white guy.
If you want a positive peer review from me, you get to the jokes.
Yeah.
Now that I know what you can do, put the hustle in. I want to see it.
All right.
You know, if you're going to do another set.
give us a right here. Tell us where people can find you.
You can find me pretty much on Facebook. My name's Jason Wesoky.
Wesoky. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's about it. Otherwise,
go GoDaddy and get a website, would you please?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm old. I can't figure it out.
You can probably.
Yeah. On the board again.
Sorry.
Good. No, we're doing 5 minutes extra, and somebody's got to get laughs for the broadcast fee. There's a satellite that's getting delayed now.
Yeah.
It costs us a lot.
But I really appreciate you taking the
Well,
time.
thanks,
to come
Eugene.
talk
I
to me.
appreciate having.
Thank you very much. We're going to watch your career with great interest, and we're going to have you back.
Well, thanks. I just hope I'm not a barnacle on the bottom of the Denver comedy scene in 30 years.
Wait, is that a rub on me?
No, it was like another one of those things he shouldn't have added on.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
What was the phrase? I couldn't.
And
The callback to the.
yeah, what was this word?
You're the fancy lawyer word.
Extemporaneous.
That was extemporaneous.
Yeah.
Anyway, great talking.
Cheers.
You're wicked
Thanks a lot.
smart
Thanks.
for this show.
Hey guys, that's going to end it for us, man. Thank you so much for watching EUGE, an inside look at chasing a dream. We really, really appreciate you liking us on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and we really, really appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week.
We clear?